Good evening. This is one of my first recordings I've done in quite a while since I've been home, got off the road and everything. And it's been a lot of things have happened since I got off the road. For one thing, we've had another shooting, mass shooting at UNCC, in which I believe 2 people were killed. 4 ultimately were injured. And I found myself looking at the shooting and just thinking, well, thank God he didn't kill more people. And I had to stop myself. I had to stop myself because that's someone's children that was murdered. That's someone's children that went to school to learn to be a better person, not to die, not to dodge bullets, but to be the best they could be. And I don't want to lose my humanity. See, one thing about Trump and all the things going on in America right now that I try to keep in context is that the white man currently is at war with his own community. He is at war with his own society. That's not me. That's not people like me. You got black folks committing crimes. You got crime out here. But that's not us. And I try to keep that in mind and keep that in proper context when I look at violence I see on a regular basis out here. This is a very dangerous time. The New Zealand shooter actually referred to Donald Trump and Candace Owens in his manifesto. He actually referred to them and said that he felt like Candace Owens went too far. And I just thought to myself, if that was me, I would feel horrible. The idea that someone was impressed by comments I make to lead them to commit an act of terrorism, that would bother me. That would bother me. That would deeply, because you try to do the right things, and it's not. Maybe you lead folks wrong. Maybe you tell people they're wrong. Maybe you make mistakes, but for them to commit acts of violence and kill people, it is really bad. And I want to say this as well: the fact that with conservatives, there really seems to be a disconnect. The proper word for that is a disconnect between the fact that we're catching mass shootings almost every week, man. This is a reality now. And once again, the white man is at war with his own society. I mean, that's what I see from Trump. I'm going off of what I see. When I hear Stone getting mad about how the FBI raided his house after he was around Alex Jones and people who have been known to make threats and people who have been known to, inspire violence, yeah, they coming heavy. I think they came heavy enough. I'd have came with the helmets and shit. They're not sending Mulder and Scully to get you. No, they sending the black boots. They sending the commandos with the right. Hell yeah, they coming heavy. Motherfucker, Alex Jones. Remember that dude Poplawski? That was a Alex Jones supporter back in like 2002 or something. Pittsburgh. He was having his dog was barking. His mom kept telling him to deal with it. He didn't. Police got called. He wound up killing 2 cops, I think. Massive shootout. You've had other stuff too that was inspired by Alex Jones as well. But the fact remains the same that you're dealing with some very dangerous people. There were folks. I want to talk about this switch with Alex Jones because I supported him at one time. I did. I bought stuff from the InfoWars store, and I respected him. And now I'm quite embarrassed to say that due to the things he says and due to the positions he takes. Alex Jones got me up on 9/11 being an inside job. I wanted to join the service. I was a fascist. And I had gone on YouTube, and so I was with Elder Chess. I had that old regular like a desktop computer, crappy computer. And I watched the documentary on WTO, and that woke me up. WTO, how much power they have, the damage they do. And he looked at it as people like him are against any type of international control. WTO, UN, they're against all of it. I was against it for certain reasons. They constantly take up with the corporations over the people. I have a problem with that. But he woke me up to realizing how they bring in agent vacateurs to take a protest and turn it into a riot, and how they do things like that. And then obviously, 9/11 is our job. Started learning about the next thing was the plastics. I used to run I used to run back then, work out and everything. I had Nalgene bottles. I took them shits out to recycle bin that night, and then I went back and got them later on because I found out, it takes time for them to wear down. Now, I don't play as a plastic at all now, as little as I can. Avoid plastics of any sort, much as I can. Learn about fluoridation from him. I learned about vaccinations, SD40. It's amazing how much information I learned from Alex Jones. And then Obama got elected. Obama deception. I was cool with that. Listen, I had plenty of issues with Obama. Understand me, please. Because I'm black does not mean that I'm just going to go ahead and duck walk behind Obama. I didn't support that record war. I didn't support much of what George Bush did when he was in the presidency. So understand that. I don't know why conservatives make it out. I know why I keep saying that. Because they have to use this throwaway line stuff. They have to always make it to where you're a socialist, or you're a communist, or you're a faggot. They have to do that because they have to weaken your argument. They don't want to actually have to look at the things you're saying and the points you're making, because that requires effort, and you may have a point. So they'll just use throwaway lines to attack you, to insult you personally, and attack people you support personally, so that no one listens to you. That's what conservatives do. That's what his people do. They engage in a lot of profanity, threatening violence. That's what they do. Part of it, I think, is because they're losing. I look at Fox News talking about communism and everybody wanting socialism, and I've got to say, do you know why? Another example of conservatives burying the lead. That's what they do. They bury the lead. They'll just run with the story and then off with the head, cut the story off instead of. It's like I've been talking about it a couple of days ago. Cultural Marxism. I don't consider myself to be a communist or a socialist, particularly, but I am a black man, and I'm a critic of capitalism. I'm a critic of a materialistic, individualistic society. I think that we're going on a line where AI will become sentient eventually. And I think that AI is going to take a lot of jobs. It's going to really, it's going to have a giant effect on the working class. It's going to have a giant effect on what the American economy will look like in 20 years' time. And that's capitalism. I don't know why people think conservatism is about this moral, like the Amish, hard work. That's not what capitalism is. Capitalism is about being able to get your return on profit and make as much money as you can with as little overhead as possible, with paying your employees as little as possible. That's what capitalism has always been about. I don't get it. I hear truckers talking about. My last couple of years, I used to do that. When people would talk about robots, I'd be like, well, you don't like capitalism then. They get quiet. White folks get real, rednecks get real quiet. Like, it's almost like going to a Christian church and a Christian is talking, and I say, well, you must not trust in Jesus. Or something like that, because capitalism is not about the people. The only thing I'll say about capitalism is the competitiveness. Look, me and Denzel are both selling cars, and I make a policy where I say, you know what? If you have a problem, I'll give you a loaner car. And Denzel says, okay, I'm gonna give you a warranty of 6 months. I said, I'm gonna give you a warranty of 2 years. He said, well, I'm gonna give you free car washes for life. That competitiveness moves it forward. That moves the discussion. That moves the markets forward. That, to me, may be one of the only positives about capitalism. Because if you have this if you just have this communalism, then people will get comfortable. You know, and you do need to have going into the future. But my thing with America, it's a war economy. America's a war economy. America is just it's the war economy. And we seem to be sticking with the war economy. And that concerns me. I am concerned about all the technology they have. Russia, the U.S., North Korea, Iran, and this saber rattling by the United States with this guy Bolton, that as technology becomes more advanced, the world will become a lot more dangerous going forward. We are living in the military-industrial complex. And one thing I find very interesting is that we're living in a time now to where they don't even lie to us anymore. You notice that? They just do it. They're going to Libya. They're going to Syria. You know, they just do it. They lie and no one calls them on it. Ever. That's why I support Snowden. I support Julian Assange, because the world has changed. You understand that? The world has really changed. And I don't like it. You know, not that I want to hurt myself or do anything bad, or this is not an incitement for violence. I'm not inciting violence. But when you're dealing with a system where America is today, where they're at war with like 5 people at once and spending trillions of dollars on war and dropping bombs in the desert, and I'm out here, I'm a truck driver, ride on these ragged ass roads. Roads get worse, you know, bridges falling apart, but yet they can spend 16 years at war on the basis of a lie. You know what I mean? That's why when they talk about this, you know, socialism and communism, I don't really waste no time on that. I don't waste no time on it at all, because you want to get mad at me talking about socialism and how wages are stagnant, but yet we've got multiple corporations that didn't pay taxes last year. Millions and hundreds of millions of dollars made without paying taxes. But yet I'm the bad guy for simply saying that wages have not remained consistent with the quality standard of living. You know what I mean? I don't get it. But once again, I understand it with conservatives. See, white people. I tell us all the time, white folk, when you argue with them, they're arguing to win. The white man argues to win. You know, that's just the way it is. They're not arguing with you to learn something. Like, I've always lived my life to learn something, whether it be, you know, the best smoothie, or filtering my water, or growing plants to clean the air, or growing fruits and vegetables. I grew tomatoes. I've got aloe vera plants over there in the pot. This didn't just come from America, or even North America, or even the West. You know, for me, it's a conglomeration of ideas that make my life better. That's how people talk to me about what I talk about. And they're like, well, I'm not a black supremacist. I'm not either. Because supremacy is saying that we're better. I don't think I'm better than any man. I don't think I'm better than any other culture. I don't wish to fight with any. I don't wish to do that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I stand in solidarity with all oppressed peoples of the world that reside beneath the oppressor's heel. Not at war with them. That's the problem. They got us tussling. What are you fighting me for? I'm like Carlton. We all running the same race, jumping the same hurdles. So why are you getting in my way? You know, they put that in you. You don't even realize it. To make you hate me. When all I'm doing is raising questions. Heard a black man the other night. I was at Wall Street. I was at the Shaw Observer picking up Wall Street, for the mail run. He was talking about they set Trump up and all. I'm just like, you're a damn fool. I said, man, you're a damn fool. I walked around true. Because check it out. Out of all the things that they pulled up on Trump, he's surrounded by crooks, man. Listen, when you're a billionaire, and you've been a billionaire from your whole life, there's never a guarantee they're going to get you for everything. Do I have to explain why? When you're a billionaire, what that means? When you're young and you got money, what that means compared to a black kid from Charlotte? What that means? That means you get away with shit where we go to jail. Yeah. You know what you're going to do? Run up there with Donald Trump, run up there with the blue lights on. Woo! You're on the wrist. Slap on the cuffs. Put your hands by your back. Hell no. He's going to know you coming for him before you get out of bed in the morning. Before you put on your pants that morning. He already knows you're coming. Because they're that powerful. That's what wealth is in America. They're not under the same rules we're not under. Look at the Jeffrey Epstein case. Raping young girls. Having up in his basement, chained up and shit. He's probation. There's two other cases I'm looking at. A bus driver is alleged to have raped some girls, no jail time. Another guy had sex with a 14-year-old, no jail time, probation. Yeah. There was a case we just had in Minneapolis where a black policeman killed a white woman. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman. And a lot of people feel like, a lot of folks around me don't care. And that's okay. I get it. But I followed the case just to document for myself the irregularities, the irregular shit that came with the case. For one thing, he shot her. That very week, the police chief came back and resigned on the spot. The mayor lost the re-election. She had offered to resign, I believe. Yeah. They got a new policy now with their guns to where when you pull the gun out the holster, a camera starts running. It's got a light on it too. It starts running. Now, all this happened in a matter of weeks. Not months, not years. We don't have any video, and they come up, they have hours of video. No. That city, that police department, the policy, turn on a dime. Complete 180. You want to say, yeah, maybe more than that. I followed it to be a witness, for myself at least, to show you this bullshit about how we're all the same. We're never the same. We were never the same. And they're just showing you that now. See, a tangent. It's a brother I listened to who was talking about white genocide. You hear that a lot now, white genocide. Shit on billboards and stuff. Why? You know, and he talked about how for us, every time we get up in the morning, we win. We're the natural man. Everything about the white man is unnatural. You know, this on you, this means death. I live in harmony with my environment. The white man does not. The white man doesn't like heat. You know, they can't be out in the sun. Don't get it twisted now. They have destroyed the world. They have wrecked the environment so badly. Shooting nukes at the moon, shooting nukes up in the atmosphere and stuff. That we're all threatened, but the Caucasian will be hurt worse. And you see that now. All these strange new diseases coming out just hit them only. That's karma. As Malcolm said, chicken's coming home to roost, baby. That's what it is. It's just what it is. But this case, this black policeman, this Somali policeman, Noor, he was a white officer patrol. He was on a call in a bad area. Evidently, he went past her house. She banged on the car, allegedly. White policeman freaked out. The black policeman reached past the white policeman fired a service weapon and killed her. Hit her in the abdomen. Killed her. There was no video. That's another policy they changed, where you have to have your body camera on every call. This all happened in a matter. I think it happened in a matter of weeks, man. We got departments out here where they don't release body cam for months. That's happened. Yeah. We had a policeman down there in Dallas where they say they found weed in his house, leaking out and everything. Which we know why. It was to cloud the case so that the jury will be influenced by the evidence. It's still the South, to say that he's up to no good. He's got weed in his house. Who cares? Who cares if he had weed in his house? One thing about me that's changed this year, my New Year's resolution, was that in dealing with racial shootings and police brutality, we have to stop with this. Well, he has smoking weed. Well, we have to stop with that. Police brutality is police brutality. Period. You know, me, I try not to argue with the police. Because for me, I'm thinking about the case. I'm trying to get information already. I'm not trying to argue with them because I know that once I've been charged or given a citation, that's it, man. And the only thing that's going after that is getting me in trouble. Because all that's going to be used in the case. I'm doing my enemy. That's how I approach the police, as my enemy. Intellectually. I'm dealing with them intellectually, with my mind. Okay? Not this. You're not going to win. Not trying to get loud. Not trying to, you're not going to win. You gotta use your head, man. They want you to use violence. Because they have the monopoly of violence. That's what they want. I look at these cases of police killing black people. Look at this lady, Loomer or whatever her name is, Looper or whatever, that got banned from YouTube from racist shit. And she broke into Nancy Pelosi's house and was living out in her backyard. Just got arrested. Nothing happened really to her. And look at the case of the white man that done that shooting at the Waffle House back a couple years ago. And how he went up to the White House and the security tried to stop him. He walked right up there and said, do what you got to do. He didn't get hurt. And he got his guns back in like 2 months, I think. We shot guns in the woods. It took me over a year and a half to get my guns back. Yeah. I'm not a fan of white supremacy. Not a friend of white supremacy at all. In case you weren't aware of that. Remember the Bundy standoff? See, that's where I started to kind of drop off, the Bundy standoff. Because Alex Jones was like 70, 76, and he was talking about how the Bundys, they were holding people at gunpoint, and they were holding the feds at gunpoint, backing them off. Feds were holding guns and then backing them off. And nobody got shot. Nobody got shot. And I was thinking to myself, what if a bunch of black guys went up in the woods and said, this is our land, we're not giving it up? What would happen? Against the federal government. This is the federal government. Okay? Not some damn booty ass Charlotte police with 2 helicopters. No, I mean like some real federal task force type shit. What would happen? They'd walk out alive. Somehow mysteriously the videos would go missing or get muted. Or they'll tap the camera to let you know when to cut the tape. That's what they do now. That's what cops do. They you see them tapping the camera, or they'll do this a lot. You can hear it on the camera to let them know when to cut the tape. You know. Yeah. That's when I started to kind of wake up. Around the time of the Bundy shooting. Kinda. I wasn't like, oh, I'm separating from InfoWars. I was kind of like just not watching it for like months at a time. And then you had Charlottesville. And I'm a Republican. I'm a right wing. I'm a libertarian. And Charlottesville happened. And I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. Like, Someone's going to say something, right? Someone's going to make it right. Somebody's going to stand up and speak against terrorism. And they didn't. And Trump did not. And Trump called them very fine people. We've had mass shootings ever since. It's terrifying. It's a terrifying thing to me, to see the violence we see out here on a regular basis now. Terrifying thing. I don't want to make light of it in any way. Share something. Oh, Lordy. I'm always prepared. Now, one thing I like to say a lot is that to me, we're at war. And that's more clear to me now than ever, the fact that we're at war. I say it all the time, if you're black and you're not sleeping with a gun within 10 feet of your head, you're slipping, man. You're slipping. I was on YouTube one time, and I was reading one of them black conscious people, one of their things, and they were talking about why do white people like to do this, that, and the other. A white guy came over and said, we want you to do something, we want you to do something so we can start a race war. And since then, I can't go anywhere on YouTube without running across just really, really nasty stuff everywhere I go on YouTube. Everywhere. I'll be on a Dark 5 video. I've been on a Dark 5 video looking at nuclear attacks or military secrets the U.S. trying to hide or something. And I'll be on talking about black people or Trump. And it's just like, I see this desperation. All this violence to me, all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's scary. It's scary because, I think about our parents, people that have children. I think about these things going on in the world today. And I really feel for the parents. I feel people out there who have children or are having children and who, think to themselves in these mass shootings that my children are in danger. And no matter what I do, they can die. And I look at these videos of white folks calling police on black people, knowingly they ain't done nothing wrong. And I I'm thankful. I'm thankful there's been no revenge. I am. I say this, and I'm not trying to be monetized. I don't give a shit about what YouTube does, Randy. I don't give a shit about what anybody does. I don't care about that stuff. It's just me as a man talking. I don't wish for anyone to commit violence on my behalf. I don't wish that. I don't want that. Make this as clear as I possibly can. But if I found out a Caucasian called the police on a black child that I knew, or, one of Denzel's kids or something, for nothing, for selling bottles of water, or open a lemonade stand, or eat lunch in a library, or I did that when I was a kid. If I found out a Caucasian done that, I don't know what I would do. And that's terrifying because I worked so hard to get to where I'm at now. Worked for them crackers at SRT, got my experience and got out. Thank God my record's clear. My record was clean. I was able to get out of there. But it really scares me what I would do, how far I would go. I'm the dude, you'll come home and I'll be in your house, man. I'll be waiting for you. I'm the dude, you'll come out there, I'll be playing with your kids just to show you I can touch you, just to show you I can get to you. I'm that dude. And it terrifies me to think about what, and I'm not saying to be funny or joking, or I'm not, You're gonna need that gun. You all that Barney Fife shit and confronting black people at gas stations. You gonna need that with me. Hope you can shoot. Hope you can fight that day. Hope you're ready to fight that day if you do that. I really earnestly hope you can tote that bale. You can stand up that day to what's coming, to that ass whooping. That's terrifying to me because I want to continue on my path, but I realize that being a man means standing for certain things, standing up for integrity, standing up for honor. And it's just terrifying to me to think what I would do given them kind of circumstances. Very terrifying to me. So, but anyway, like I said, we're living in dangerous times. I think that personally, as a brother I listened to last night said, the white man's fighting for survival. He was talking about how, for we as black people, I'm not at war with anybody. I want to share. I want to, I've got files and files and files on my flash drives. I want to share information and teach and help people to show them a better world as possible. We can get off of foreign fossil fuels, period. We can get off these things. I'm impressed to see Germany, talking about within the next 10 years, 10 years, they will have phased out coal power completely. Dude, that's impressive to me. And my dad was talking about France I think they're gonna get rid of all the nuclear power stuff. And then they said Germany, like they were able to do all their power off of solar panels. They had so much solar, they were paying people to use the power. They had some power left over. I'm impressed by that, man. That to me that's progressive. I don't look at them, well, they're Germany and we're America. I'm a citizen of the world. I'm a universal citizen. And I tell people when I meet foreigners, I'm not going to apologize to a European for anything. But I would say that I have a deep regret in my heart in regards to American foreign policy over the last 15, 20 years. I can say that. I have a deep, abiding regret. I have a deep, abiding, I don't want to say sadness almost, for the people that have been killed, for the infrastructure that's been destroyed, and for the communities that have been completely destroyed. I don't know how to say it, refer to it. So I tell them, hey, I live under the flag. I work underneath the flag. It's like someone working in Germany. You had a lot of people in Nazi Germany that weren't Nazis. You had to be a Nazi just to be a teacher, to be a worker. You had to do that. Didn't mean you want to go fight. Didn't mean you want to go to Russia and kill Russians. Didn't mean you want to go work at a concentration camp. That's what you had to do. And that's how I feel. I'm not trying to go too far, but that's the spirit I have right now of just existing in this man's world. Something about the Caucasian. They're struggling to survive. That's why they're always at war. Notice that. They're always at war. They're always fighting somebody. I've heard it said that if there were no people of color on the earth, these white folks would be at war within 5 years with each other. Oh, yeah. I believe it 110%. They'd be at war with them. So they'd be nuclear war. They'd be dead. They love war. And working with them, I realized there's a lady I work with at the Post doing the mail runs, and she loves to argue. Just loves to argue and fight with me about nothing. It's kind of shocking. It's kind of annoying. That's the reality. Peace out.